If you're into Game Boy, there's a good chance you'll like my new Neo Geo Pocket Color series too. Every Thursday I'm reviewing a new Neo Geo game. Just join the POCubed Patreon or become a channel member here on YouTube. Please let this be it now. I have gone from not knowing anything about Gundam, having never watched an episode, to absolutely detesting Gundam, still never having watched an episode. The second game in the SD Gundam miniseries, SD Sengokuden, was a slightly below average strategy game with bizarre fighting interludes, but still it was a damn sight better than the first one. Hopefully Chiju Saikyohen, the strongest on Earth, will continue the upward trend. If you remember back to that first game, the whole thing felt completely rushed, as if Bandai were determined to release it in 1989 for some reason. This was no truer than with the fighting sequences, which were far too rapid and hard to handle, and left you thinking the game was playing out at 2 times the speed. Certainly the fight scenes in this one feel much more reasonable pace-wise than the first game, but compared to Sengokuden 2, you'd be hard-pressed to tell them apart. The map screen hasn't changed a lot through the entire trilogy either, it's just become a bit tidier. Unit's progress is still displayed by a hodgepodge of flags that don't really tell you a great deal. Any strategy elements are still incredibly thin on the ground. Between Tenka Tuitsuhen and this one, there seems to not be a great deal that's actually changed. The music and graphics are of the same quality is probably the wrong word, but the same quality level. Several of the backgrounds, for instance, seem to have just been reused. Gameplay-wise, there doesn't seem to be any differences whatsoever. You have all the same options during the overhead segments, and the fighting controls are still the same old button-mashing nonsense. There's still not very much story, and the Gundam property remains inadequately represented, acting as more of a marketing gimmick than anything close to canon or lore. It seems there's been no escape from games emblazoned with some form of Gundam IP, but you'll be glad to know there's only one left in the entire library, and it wasn't released until 1994. So, thank the stars, we get a bit of a reprieve in this series. There's not a great deal more to say about Chiju Saikyohen, except that if you enjoyed number 2 in the series, then this is basically the same. If you didn't enjoy it, well, this is basically the same.